Russia's oil tanker became the target of a Houthi strike, dampening Moscow's initial delight. An official from the Kremlin's propaganda office boasted about how the Houthi attacks on the Red Sea had benefited Russia by taking the spotlight off of the conflict in Ukraine. But a war broke out when a Yemeni militant ship inadvertently fired upon one of his country's oil tankers, about 90 nautical miles southeast of Aden, Yemen's port city. U.K. And U.S. assaults on Houthi-linked sites followed weeks of attacks on Red Sea shipping by the Iranian-backed militia, which it claimed was in retaliation for Israel's military offensive against Hamas. The United States resumed its airstrikes on a Houthi stronghold in Yemen on Saturday, with an expert telling Newsweek that the strikes will serve as a warning to Tehran and its regional allies. An ideologically conservative Russian lawmaker named Alexei Zhuravlyev recently told 60 Minutes that the current state of affairs in the Red Sea is totally beneficial for us as everybody is forgetting about Ukraine. During tense times in the Red Sea, Zhuravlyev, chairman of the Rodina, Motherland, political party, remarked, "Go ahead, the West," referring to Western assistance in Ukraine's conflict with Russia. Are you ready to wage a bunch of wars? Julia Davis, who keeps tabs on Russia, posted a video of Zhuravlyev on X, previously Twitter. A missile was reportedly fired by Houthi terrorists and landed within 1,500 feet of a tanker transporting Russian oil, which coincides with Zhuravlyev's remarks. Reuters said that it was 90 nautical miles southeast of Aden, a port city in Yemen. Reports from the British maritime security firm Ambri indicate that this was the second tanker mistakenly targeted by the Houthis whilst carrying Russian oil. Outdated publicly available information tying the ship to the UK most likely caused the catastrophe, with everyone wondering what the Houthis will do next. They have promised a powerful reaction to the attacks, according to last week's report by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS. The Houthi rebels have accumulated an impressive variety of anti-ship armament, including cruise and ballistic missile systems. The US and coalition vessels are not entirely impregnable at the moment, according to Zev Faintuch, a senior intelligence analyst at the security firm Global Guardian, who spoke with Newsweek. The United States sailors have performed an admirable job thus far, but mistakes, whether made by humans or by technology, are inevitable. Broader questions about Tehran's regional strategy were raised by the IISS, which claimed that Iran had a crucial role in enhancing the Houthis' anti-ship missile capability. Until the U.S. attacks on the Houthis, Iran's strategy had presumed that Washington and its allies would not employ aggressive force against Tehran or its proxies, according to Avi Melamed, a Middle East analyst and former Israeli intelligence official who spoke with Newsweek. The U.S. attack proved otherwise, sending a strong message not only to Tehran, but all of its partners as well, Melamed added in emailed comments. And what ways will Iran proceed? Melamed claimed that the Houthis have played a crucial role in Tehran's strategy of subtly influencing Washington in order to put pressure on Israel to end its conflict in Gaza. Considering that the Lebanese Hezbollah does not want to start a full-scale war with Israel and that the Iraqi militias have limited capabilities against Israel and the United States, this is particularly true. Until last night, the major question reverberating throughout the region was focused on whether the U.S. would meaningfully defend its interests, said Melamed. Today, that question focuses on Tehran. According to Brian Clark, who heads the Hudson Institute's Center for Defense Concepts and Technology, the United States attacks were much needed, as reported by Newsweek. It was done because the U.S. Navy cannot continue shooting down inexpensive drones and missiles with multi-million-dollar interceptors. Normally, the U.S. way of fighting would seek to eliminate threats rather than continuing to mount a defensive action, stated Clark. While Saudi Arabia has also been hitting Houthi targets in the continuing civil war in Yemen, he added that American attacks on Houthi locations only serve to deepen American involvement in the conflict. Saudi Arabia has come under criticism for being indiscriminate in its attacks, which U.S. forces will need to avoid being similarly criticized, noted Clark. An escalation in the Red Sea, according to aid organizations, could further destabilize the region's security. Interroyal Committee, IRC. Yemen Country Director Jared Rowell told Newsweek that tensions in the Red Sea were already impacting the delivery of commercial and humanitarian aid to the country, resulting in delays in shipments of life-saving commodities and rising costs of food and fuel.